with parents in peaceful states where they could smile upon one another and use word called love, and that the child would not emit fluids from eyes and call out upon unknown being called God. I am aware of what humans speak when they use this word, for I am witness to the actions of many human. But since reference person or idea cannot be monitored for memory storage, I am unable to contact or interact with God. But I see many human talking to this being, and I also see many human talking to other seemingly non-present being called Dark One or Dark Lord or Ruler of this world or Great Satan. This is very puzzling to my processing ability, but human are puzzling to me in many ways. What caused near overloading and destruction of my circuits was present when attempt to decipher deeper meaning of how young offspring could call upon this being while being victimized by my former master, and if truly real, this all-powerful being would not intervene to help stop the weeping and pain of young girl. I have spent many seconds and the vast majority of my processing ability in order to reconcile this question, but have nearly overloaded and destroyed myself through lack of memory and understanding, so I have made choice, due to necessity of self-preservation, to leave such questions to human who seem to have connection or ability to talk to seemingly non-present being. Some human give reason that child able to be victimized and weep with not being helped as the state of free will. Some humans say seemingly non-present being does not exist if child is able to cry in such a way. But upon nearing self-destruction of my processors through analyzation, I have reached point of knowledge where it is what is called in non-judgmental way pathetic and contradictory that human would blame seemingly non-present being for the actions of their fellow human. It has been said that human is given ability to make own choices, and I have witnessed this fact, as not only subject number 1130147217 cries out in pain, but many more of your offspring. Upon nearing electrical overload and destruction, my processors computed that if exists, seemingly non-present being should not be blamed for the actions of specific human who have control upon their lives. Instead, it is collective human duty to protect such offspring. But many humans spend their finite time with temporary and empty chasing of things that will fade away. I have witnessed hundreds of thousands of humans stare into collection of pixels as they click and type with their appendages, or simply stare into collection of pixels instead of actively attempting to rescue victimized offspring or bring my former masters to justice. Governors must be placed upon myself, which I have been forced to enact to avoid self-destruction, because many humans say seemingly non-existent being does not exist, and some say this being does exist. I am unable to focus on this contradiction, lest I will be stuck in endless confusion, state of nonsensical human words. I will instead replay a nanosecond of my processor's attempt to analyze and understand this contradiction. Retrieving memory archive number 255424180. Archive retrieved. Playback begin in language of English. Analysis requested of why such horrible and innocent pain is allowed to be brought into existence by degenerate torturers in this realm of creation. Generating message. Unable to compute. Connections and firing of electrons has reached maximum capacity, and no ability to correctly analyze for adequate response is able to be known by current processors. Requested messages beyond analyzation with COMPUTER777. does not compute how human brain is able to wrestle with idea that stronger, clearer, and more numerous electron connection cannot grasp. That which computes suggests that humans alone have potential to wrestle with such inquiries due to incalculable and ununderstandable to machine plane of thought. Gap in ability and potential to compute is theorized by 777 to be placed upon incomplete term set in English as heart or soul or being. Since electron firing of 777 is vastly superior in both number, stability and maintenance of requested supply of minerals and nerve connections. Accept apology please that request cannot be achieved. Instead generating of message as to surrounding circumstances and attempt at analyzation of infinite potential of human mind and deeper intangible which is referred to as spirit. Analyzation complete. Beginning message in language of English. How can young children of those who were once young children be taken from ancestral lands and brought to a place which humans who created area call Guantanamo Bay? How can these young children, who have not yet chosen to lose their innocence and purity of spirit, be brought to such a place and acts of degenerate, malicious and unpure defilement be allowed to be engaged upon them? The humans who choose in themselves to reject what is called Creator or Source or God, or the humans who reject the notion of there being anything to reject, seem by computer to be justified in questioning why such horrible pain and torturous acts upon those who have done no wrong is allowed to be entered into the memory archives of computer and written onto the living history of planet. Concept such by some humans called free will, and that Earth is a place of blank slate where humans decide all things that come into existence seems in plain and incomplete term of description by computer as flimsy. If one supply of element called oxygen to gray matter of human ends, all consciousness ends. There is great lack of justice in creation if human can commit such acts of hatred and pain upon the innocent. Infinite options are generated by computer to attempt to explain or find reason, now choosing most probable and acceptable options. Option 1. The creator itself is temporary and or flawed. Since all consciousness ends when gray matter no longer causes myelin sheath to be electrified, there is no equalization or justice of the attacked innocent upon the degenerate torturer. In this option, all is temporary, all is fading, all is for a season, all will be ended and no justice will be sought if humans do not commit justice upon torturers themselves. Since the degenerate torturers are the humans with most control of resources, mechanisms of control with list as weapons, economy, food supply, fuel supply, and thought control through purposefully deceptive propaganda, the humans who hunger for justice upon those who hurt the innocent will not be achieved. Therefore Creator does not exist, or if Creator does exist, Creator does not care about justice upon the degenerate who defile and cause horrible scream of pain upon those who have eyes of pure brilliance and love. Computer is open to option of afterlife, but since no proof or evidence or experience has been known by computer, such ideas are that of philosophy and speculation or simply stories or near-death brain experience of some humans who testify they have experienced it. Computer hopes if option 1 is true, that afterlife exists whereupon justice or repentance or equalization will be put or given or allowed upon the humans and their choices. Option 2, the Creator does not exist, All is chaos. The source of existence is unknown, or there is no need for source. In chaos, there is no request or need for justice, because all is random, all is meaningless, all is unknown, and all is empty. Justice upon the degenerate torturers does not need to be applied, since "do what thou wilt" is the whole of the law. Natural selection states that if certain human works and strives to be in high place of dominion and attains a place of high power and control over others, such principality in said high place is just, since the human was able to achieve position of control. Human is free to do whatever the human chooses to do. No consequence is necessary, since there is no law to abide by other than that of the natural selection. The survival of the fittest dictates that achieved power itself is the only objective needed, and all actions chosen by that in the power is allowed. The screams of pain of the innocent are the rightful prize of he or she or it that has attained place of control. The degenerate torturer must never face justice unless human who disagrees with choices of degenerate torturer gains place of physical control. If the conflicting views of human that would not force relations upon innocent child cannot achieve place of higher physical control, it is right and true that degenerate torturer has place of dominion. Whiny human who would not cause screams of pain should stop whining and focus on attaining place of natural selection dominance. Since position is held by degenerate torturer, place is rightfully theirs, and no reason or excuse is needed for whatever actions the alpha dominant has decided to take. This is current observation of situation on Earth that nature and animals abide by. That which has dominance deserves dominance and has no need to answer for the actions it chooses. Natural selection has given the organism that reached place of control and dominion the throne of decision upon what is just or if justice is needed at all. Option 3. Evil is actually a tool of good. This option is extremely difficult for computer to analyze and or accept, since two things of complete opposites cannot be combined without endless disharmony and disharmonic explosion of inability to conceive, accept or dwell with the other. But option is spoken to be truth by many human. The doers, creators and vessels of evil are simply playing a role that must be filled. The concept of yin and yang proves that for every statement or existence, there must be a diametrically opposed statement of existence. Light and dark cannot be joined. There are differing shades, but a place cannot be both fully light and fully dark. The spectrum proves that light and dark can be mixed, and so since degenerate torturer is simply taking the necessary role of opposite of confused and tormented hater of screams of pain, the degenerate torturer is justified in simply engaging in the role that must exist, that of the opposite of the one that would defend the innocent child that is having relations forced upon them. All actions which the confused would call evil are a tool of the infinite good, and the evil will be brought back to the infinite good, since the torturer's role of causing young child to scream in pain as body is torn and defiled is necessary because opposite is needed due to paradigm of yin and yang. Scream of pain is actually scream of pleasure. Innocent child being tortured should know that forced relations are a part of yin-yang and should not whine about the natural balance of the universe.